James Cameron, director of Aliens and T2. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's a Soviet MIRV-6 from an SS-22N launch vehicle.
I married Rambo.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars and welcome to another classic Arnold Schwarzenegger review. Today I'm taking a look at his 1994 mega hit action film True Lies, a film that is directed by James Cameron and it stars obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis, Tom Arnold, Bill Paxton and Art Malik. Now the film focuses on Arnold Schwarzenegger's character Harry Tasker, who is a spy. However, the twist with this film is he is married to Jamie Lee Curtis, Helen, who thinks he is just a salesman, a computer salesman. She has no idea that he is a spy at all. So while he's off traveling the globe, stopping global terrorism, his wife thinks he's out selling computers all around the world, thinking he leads a really very boring life. However, fate intertwines and they end up essentially having to work together to foil a plot of global terrorism. Right. What are my thoughts on True Lies? Well, this is truly an Arnold classic and certainly one of my favourite Arnold films. Arguably one of his last really great films. He's obviously done a lot of good films since this one, but this really was a fantastic film. I remember I went to see this numerous times at the cinema when it came out. I was a big fan of it then and I'm a big fan of it now. And the reason why I decided to review this one now is for two reasons. Obviously, I'm doing a series of classic Arnie film reviews, and I've just recently picked up the Spanish release of True Lies, the grey market version. There you go, you see, Leo, I did watch that video that you put up. And for those of you who don't know, this has never been officially released, certainly in the US and the UK. It's been released in Spain. It is a legit copy. It's not a bootleg or anything. And if you want to know more about the grey market, there is a great video over at the Geek Legion of Doom channel that does explain it all. That I think he put up about 12 months ago, something like that. So I've revisited the film and I really, really enjoyed it, obviously, as usual. But I think what I like about this film, and I think this film has kind of picked up a little bit of controversy over the years, which seems a little bit odd to me. Yes, okay, terrorism isn't necessarily fashionable anymore, and that's partly the reason a lot of people are saying that James Cameron has never done or wanted to do like an official Blu-ray release. That's not entirely accurate. My understanding is that up until 2018, 2019, he was still very interested in getting involved in, the Blu-ray release for True Lies. He just has not had time. Why has he not had time? Because he's filming 4 Avatar sequels back to back. So he just hasn't got the time to put into, and he obviously wants to oversee all the releases of 4Ks and Blu-rays so that they're good quality, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I understand that. So it's not necessarily true that he thinks the film has aged poorly or anything like that, or that some people have criticised the film that it's the way women are displayed in the film and all this kind of stuff. There are some awkward moments in the film, but overall it balances it all out beautifully, I think. And it's just such a great film. I mean, there's a great story as well about this film, and if you can search an interview where Jamie Lee Curtis talks about this. When the film was being edited and put together by James Cameron, initially it was just going to be like Schwarzenegger's name on the poster, which was the done deal at the time. If Schwarzenegger was in a film, he was selling that film, his name was on the poster. But James Cameron saw that this was very much a Jamie Lee Curtis film as much as a Schwarzenegger film. It was a marriage, it was a partnership. So he rang Schwarzenegger up and asked if her name could go on the poster with his. And he immediately agreed, Arnold. And Jamie Lee Curtis has never forgotten that, and she thought it was a really classy move by Arnold, because as she explained it, your name on the poster is a big deal, was and is a big deal, and for him to kind of say, absolutely, put a name on the poster of mine, was quite a big deal in Hollywood. And she really enjoyed making this film. So for those of you out there who thought there are uncomfortable moments in this film, congratulations, there are, but they're meant to be uncomfortable moments in how males and females are presented on screen. But it all kind of works itself out. I think the action is some of the best that we've ever seen from James Cameron. Really classy action, very, very good. And the film is really funny. The idea of casting Tom Arnold certainly raised a few eyebrows at the time because he was going through a messy divorce with his wife, Roseanne Barr. Was it Roseanne Barr? So he was getting some fairly negative headlines and things like that. And the studio didn't really want to cast him. And then James Cameron said, look, if you don't cast him, I'm going to take the film to another studio. So they had to cast him. So the chemistry you can see on screen with him and Schwarzenegger was real. They really, really got on. They became really good friends. And also, interestingly, the scene where Tom Arnold explains that when Arnold thinks his wife's having an affair, he explains that his ex-wife, took the ice cube trays out of the freezer. And he says, what kind of sick bitch takes the ice cube trays out of the freezer? That was based on reality because apparently Roseanne did that to him. And when he told James Cameron that story, he asked him if he could put it in the film. So that's why that's in the film. The film is genuinely funny, and much of that is not just down to Tom Arnold. Much of that is down to Schwarzenegger as well, because we've seen over the years that Schwarzenegger does have some pretty good comedy timings, and he's been successful in a few comedy films, and he's got a real charming character here. But also, when he has to turn it on and do the action, he does it flawlessly. I think this is arguably, Arnold's most impressive action film. And it's just a lot of fun to watch with memorable scenes, memorable characters. It's just a shame we never got the sequel. Apparently there was a sequel in production. I think it was due to start being made in 2002. And then it kind of ran into issues. And then after 9/11 and all this kind of stuff, James Cameron didn't want to do it anymore. As he explained it, terrorism just isn't funny anymore. So it is a shame that we never really got a sequel to this one. It would definitely, I think, have been something pretty special, because I do genuinely think this is a really, really fun and special Arnold film that has stood the test of time. Really, really enjoyed revisiting it. And if you've never seen it, then you will really, really love it if you check it out. If only for the interactions and the between Arnold Schwarzenegger and Bill Paxton, the late great Bill Paxton, who plays like this sleazy car salesman that's pretending to be a spy, is trying to sweep Jamie Lee Curtis off her feet because she needs some adventure in her life. It was just a genius addition to this film, and it just elevates it. I think most films as well, you get like a strong start sometimes and maybe a strong finish. I think this film doesn't have any weaknesses throughout it for the most part. It's got a really strong start, and then it kind of turns into like this domestic film where Arnie thinks his wife's having this affair and things, and then that then evolves into like this huge action set piece finish to the film. So you kind of get, it's got this nice line going all the way through it, this film, that kind of, takes you off in different ways, but does it really, really in a very well done way. Obviously, it's James Cameron. He knows how to make a film and tell a story. So yeah, very, very strong Arnie film, this one. One of my favourites for sure, and definitely worthy of the title of a classic film review. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments if there's any Arnie films you want me to check out and review. And of course, I'll be back with more content on the channel very, very soon.